As we all know that on October 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio became Pope Francis, the first Jesuit pope and the first pope from the Southern Hemisphere. He was elected at the second conclave held during the papacy of Benedict XVI after his resignation and is currently the 266th pope of the Catholic Church. In today's video, we will be looking at the biography, the family, wife, children, ministry, and net worth of this man who has inspired millions with his message of God's unconditional love for humanity despite our faults. Let's begin. Pope Francis was born on December 17, 1936 in Buenos Aires, Argentina, to parents of Italian descent, like many other people in Argentina. His father was an accountant and his mother was a homemaker. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood and was one of 5 brothers. When he was 6 years old, the family moved to a middle-class neighborhood called Belgrano, where he spent most of his life. At the age of 13, he decided to join the Society of Jesus and became a novice in the Jesuit order in 1953. This religious order, founded by Saint Ignatius of Loyola, is known for its intellectual and spiritual depth. After completing his novitiate, he studied philosophy at the Colegio del Salvador in Argentina and later worked as a chemical technician in a laboratory. In 1960, he went to the United States to continue his theological studies at the Gregorian and Heythrop universities. He also taught literature and philosophy at the Colegio Máximo de San Antonio de Padua in California and worked as a part-time chaplain at the University of San Francisco. After finishing his studies, he returned to Argentina in 1968 and continued working in various ministries until 1973, when he was appointed assistant preacher of the National Shrine of Luján, one of the most important Marian sanctuaries in Argentina. During this time, he also served as a spiritual director at the College of the Immaculada Conception and as a professor of theology at the Catholic University of Argentina. In 1980, he was named superior of the Jesuit province of Argentina, and in 1986 he was appointed Bishop of La Plata, becoming the youngest bishop in Argentina at the age of 49. As a bishop, he was known for his simplicity and closeness to the people. He celebrated masses in the poorest neighborhoods, visited prisons, and encouraged vocations among young people. In 1992, he was promoted to the Archdiocese of Buenos Aires, which made him the second most important bishop in Argentina. There he continued his work of serving the poor and marginalized and defending human rights. He also had to face many challenges, such as the return of the military dictatorship, the economic crisis, and the rise of drug trafficking and violence. He was a cardinal when he heard about Benedict XV's resignation and traveled to Rome for the papal conclave that elected him pope. When asked how he would like to be addressed, he said simply, "Call me Francis." That was how he wanted to be remembered, not as a powerful pontiff, but as a servant of God's people. Now let us discuss his family. The new pope is a bachelor, so he doesn't have a wife or children. However, he has many spiritual sons and daughters who have followed his example of faith and service. One of them is Father Antonio Spadaro, S.J., an Italian Jesuit priest who is one of the closest confidants of Pope Francis. They have been friends since they were fellow students in the Jesuit seminary in Argentina and have collaborated on various projects related to liberation theology and social justice. Father Spadaro is also the editor-in-chief of La Civiltà Cattolica, one of the most prestigious Jesuit publications in the world, and has written several books and articles on Pope Francis and his papacy. Another one is Father James Martin, S.J., an American Jesuit priest who is an author and speaker on faith and culture. He met Pope Francis when he accompanied a group of journalists to the Vatican in 2013 and has interviewed him several times since then. Father Martin has also written extensively about Pope Francis and his papacy and has praised him for his openness and compassion towards LGBTQ Catholics. We are sure that the late parents of Pope Francis must be very proud of their son and the legacy he has left behind. They raised him with strong values and faith that guided him through his life journey and made him the compassionate leader he is today. Moving on, we will discuss his ministry. We have already mentioned some aspects of his ministry as a bishop and cardinal, but there are more to explore. One of his major contributions was his support for the Second Vatican Council, which was a historic meeting of the Catholic Church in the 1960s that aimed to renew and reform the Church in light of the modern world. He also played a role in the establishment of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America, which promoted the Church's mission in the region and helped address social issues such as poverty and inequality. He also contributed to the drafting of the Instrumentum Laboris, which was a key document for the council that outlined the main topics and goals of the synod. It was on this occasion that he was recognized by Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, the future Benedict XVI, as one of the 4 or 5 men under 50 who really mattered in the Church. As a cardinal, he continued to serve the Church in various capacities and was known for his wisdom and courage. He voted for the election of Benedict XVI as Pope and was one of the electors who proposed him at the conclave. He also participated in the conclaves that elected popes John Paul II and Benedict XV, and was one of the electors who proposed John Paul II. He was also one of the cardinal electors for the 2013 papal conclave that elected Pope Francis. Another aspect of his ministry is his writings. He has written extensively on theology and spirituality, especially on the themes of faith, hope, and charity. One of his most famous books is A Church That Goes Out, which reflects on the mission of the Church in the world and calls for a more missionary and evangelical approach. He has also written other books such as On Heaven and Earth, Joy of the Gospel, The Strength of Faith, The Love of God, The Love of the People, The Light of Faith, The Paschal Mystery, The Blessed Virgin Mary, and others. His writings show his deep faith and love for the Church and people and have inspired many readers around the world. As for his net worth, it is estimated that he has no personal wealth as he does not own any property or assets. The papacy is a position without salary or benefits, and the Pope's income comes from the Vatican's treasury, which covers his living expenses, travel costs, and other official duties. Any money left over is used for charitable purposes or donated to the Pope's chosen charities. So the Pope does not accumulate wealth for himself, but uses his resources to help others. Finally, we will discuss his legacy. The legacy of Pope Francis is immense and multifaceted. He has been a source of inspiration and hope for millions of people around the world with his simple yet profound teachings on faith, love, and justice. He has shown humility, compassion, and courage in his leadership and has challenged the Church and the world to follow his example. Some of his most significant legacies include promoting dialogue and interreligious harmony, caring for the sick and suffering, protecting the environment, defending human rights and opposing war and violence, encouraging peace and reconciliation, supporting migrants and refugees, promoting social justice and economic equality, simplifying and reforming the Church, promoting vocations and encouraging young people, fostering unity and healing divisions within the Church and beyond. These are just some of the ways in which Pope Francis has impacted the world and left a lasting legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. Thank you for watching this video about the biography, family, wife, children, ministry, and net worth of Pope Francis. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to get notified of our next videos. Until then, stay blessed.